Okay, I have set up the WiMiUS K13 projector, so this is where I'm going to be testing it. I've got some plugs going on over here, and I've got the tripod ready to film from behind, the manual so I can read out some of the specs. There's the remote, which I've plugged two AAA batteries in, so there's two AAA batteries in there. I've got a USB stick as well to test that, because there is a USB connector on the back. I've got a laptop so we can test the HDMI, so you can use a Fire Stick as well because it's got the HDMI connection on the projector itself, so I'm going to be testing that. And then I've also got a Bluetooth speaker, so I want to test that and get the sound running through that from this projector. So what I'll do is I'll switch this on, turn off the lights, and then we'll see how everything works, and we'll go through some of the settings and everything like that. So there we can see at the back it's plugged in with the power cable, the HDMI, and then that's where I'll test the USB. And then we've also got earphones jack over here, so you can also have earphones plugged in. So this is the projector. I'll take the cover off, so that's there. And then what we'll do is we will press this button here, and it's got a slight glow of red. If I switch off this light, you'll see that it's got a bit of a red glow, which means we can press that. And now that comes on to blue, and it starts projecting the screen, and there's the screen over there. So that's what it looks like now as it's booting up. So obviously the laptop's in the way, so I'll try and raise that up a bit, and there it is. So it's starting to boot up. Yes, it's blurry, so once it starts getting into its settings and everything, it should start auto adjusting and doing its thing. But I think the objects are in the way, so we'll see if it avoids those and gets the screen set up correctly. Okay, so I've just moved the laptop, closed the screen of that, and we'll just let that boot up. So it looks like it's asking for language settings and things like that before we continue. Oh no, it's doing its auto adjust thing, so it's doing that. It's doing its auto focus, so that's all on its own, and there we go. We can see the language nice and clear now. Wow, that's so clear. Look at that. Look at the sharpness of the pixels. I'm right up next to that. So I've got the remote here, so what we'll do is we'll press OK for that, and there's the screen. Wow, this is so rich in color. The colors are so vibrant. Let me just go closer for you, because you can see the edges of the screen, how clear this actually is. I'm probably, well, let's say, look, that's the remote over there, and that's the distance of the remote, and that's how close I am to the wall, and you can see the edges, how clear this projector is. Look at that. And that's all the autofocus on its own. This is amazing. Wow, look at that. Cool. So that's it there. So what I'll do is I'll set up the camera, the phone, so it's stable, and then I'll go through the settings and everything, and we can work through how this projector works and what it does. So this is now asking me to press, so it looks like I've synced the remote now for other settings. So now it's asking for other language settings. I want to see what this is now. So this, I pressed the YouTube button, and then it asked me to press the home and the back button, as you saw over there. So I'm doing that now, and we'll just see where this takes us. So quickly set up your TV with the Android phone. So it's connecting us to the internet, and now it's taken us to the Google sign in for, looks like YouTube and that. So that's quite cool. So you can play that via the projector itself as well with the internet connection. That's very cool. Right, so I've now logged in with my Google account, and we'll see what happens here and where it takes us. So I'll just let that connect and do its thing, and then we'll carry on once it's connected. Okay, so it looks like it's now set up a few of these apps for me. Get personal, so we'll just say okay, that's fine, I already get those, so that's cool. So your TV stick is powered by Android TV, get apps from Google Play, so you can cast your TV now as well, so that's cool. So let's see, customize your home screen. So there we go, we've now got access to all these apps as well, and we can play that via the projector. How awesome is that? And it's you going through your Google account, so that's very cool. So let's see if we can play this. There we go. So Netflix is now opening up. How cool. Yeah, very cool. Very impressed. This projector is very good. So let's go back to home. Oh, it started playing a bit of music there. So it started doing that. So that's, yeah, that's very impressive. Wow. I do like that. So if I click on YouTube from the remote, so I just press the remote's YouTube button, so that's available there, the 4 buttons at the bottom. It's now opening up YouTube. So that's there. Then if we press Netflix, so I've pressed Netflix. So that takes us to Netflix. And if I press Prime Video, it takes us to Prime. And if I click on Home, it takes us back here. Very cool. And then you click on that, it's got the input device. You can go to that, you go to Home, and that brings you back here. Right, so let's go through some of the settings first. So what I'll do is I will navigate to the top here. So in the top right is the little cog over there. So we'll go on to that. So we've got Wi-Fi settings and network diagnosis. So we'll go to Wi-Fi, and what we'll do is we will connect to the Wi-Fi over here. So you can connect to 5G and 2.4 gigahertz as well. So 5 gigahertz and 2.4. So what I'll do is that, and then once I've connected, we'll carry on with the video. So that's now connected. As you can see next to that Wi-Fi over there, it says connected. So that was really quick. Wow. Then we'll go back. So on the remote over here, we've got some keys. As you can see, the back key is this arrow here. You can maneuver around with the circle over there, and you've got a home button, the settings as well, so some shortcuts and that. And it looks like there's some shortcuts for YouTube, Netflix, and Prime Video. Then what we can do is look at Bluetooth. So we've got some Bluetooth being picked up already over here. Then what I want to do is turn on this Bluetooth speaker that I've got. It's a JBL speaker. So what I'll do is turn this on, and then we will scan for that. So I'll just press the Bluetooth. So that's now scanning. So that's beeping and scanning. And what we'll do is we'll go up here and scan for devices from the projector. So the projector is now scanning as well. And there we go. We can see the JBL Charge 5. So that's available. So what I'll do is pair with that. So that says it's now connected. Nice and quick again. Wow, this is really fast. So now the speaker's connected. So we've got that to play sound. Then we've got a signal source. We've got close. We've got ATV, HDMI. So we've got all of these over here. HDMI plug and play. Then we've got picture settings. So we can do the keystone, manually do that if you want, or auto keystone. We've got zoom, so the screen can reset the zoom and everything like that. So when you move the projector, it will auto adjust. So what I'll do now is I will move the projector around and just put it back, and you'll see it will start auto adjusting for the screen and the depth and everything that it sees. So it's doing that all on its own. And once it's finished, it will then display the image. So that's really cool. So that's quite nice when you're moving it around in rooms, or if someone bumps it or something like that, it will auto-focus and it doesn't go out of focus and manually have to adjust it. So that's really nice. Then on the side here, we've got video, so you can change it to different types of video. So if you're gaming, you can change it to gaming, and you can put music if you want, office, things like that. Then you've got sound. So we've got different types of sound as well. Then we've got the projection. So this is front projection. So the projector is facing forward and pointing at the wall. Or you've got rear projection. So it will also, you can change it so that it will adjust the image for that. Front ceiling. So if it's hanging upside down, because it can be mounted, it will then adjust and swap the image around for that as well. And then rear ceiling as well. Then we've got system. So about the machine and any upgrades. So we can see if there's any firmware upgrades to keep the software up to date and that. We can look at an online upgrade because we are connected to the Wi-Fi now. And then at the bottom we've also got general, which is just the power on, sleep timer, things like that. So you can put that on as well. And it's also got arc, which is quite nice. So that you can have where you have the sound coming from the projector into an amplifier, and then the amp will play the sound coming from the projector. So that's really cool. That runs through the HDMI as well. Those are all the settings. And then what we can do is in the top right, you can see we're now connected with Bluetooth and also with Wi-Fi. And then the last one is the USB. So I've got my USB stick. So what I'll do is I'll plug this into the back of the projector, and that's now plugged in. So that's there, and we can see that. So U-Disk is connected, so that's the name of the USB drive that I've just plugged in. So we can click on open, and then what it will do is it will allow you to browse the files that are on here. So you see the video, image, audio, or documents, and then we've got this external device over here. So we'll open that up, and then over here we've got some movies, so we can open that and see if it plays the movie, and it is, and it's playing through this speaker here because we are connected with Bluetooth. So that's pretty awesome. So it automatically started playing through that because it is connected, and the sound is nice and loud and rich. So what I'll do is I'll carry on playing, and I'll move it so you can see. So that's there, and then we'll do volume up and down. So there's the volume going up and down. So that's there, and we can mute it, and we can unmute it, and put the volume back up. So that works very well. Then we click back, and it takes you back home, and then we can go to the home button, and it will take you all the way back here. So we've also got iOS cast and mirrorcast. So from your phone you can mirrorcast onto here. So if I'm doing something on my phone, I can put that on there. So I don't know if this will work while I'm recording off the phone. I'm not sure if that would work, and then we just get an infinite loop of images showing. But that's available to you as well via Android and iOS. So that's cool. We've got support, and then you've got music, movies, photo, and Office Suite. So if we open this Office Suite, then that will obviously take you to your drive that you've got plugged in, so you can look at any files and that. So that's the projector on how it works. And then what I want to do is, let's just open another one. So this is another movie. Quality's not great, it's a very old show, but that's there. And you can skip as well at the bottom. You can fast forward. You can go 8 times, 16 times, 32 times. So that's really quick. Wow. So that's the skipping ahead and the volume. So this all works great. Then we'll go back to home. So that's there. Now the other thing I wanted to do was HDMI. So HDMI, if I select that, searching for HDMI signals, I'll just move the mouse on the laptop, and there's the laptop. So if I pick this up to show you on screen, that's the screen over here on the laptop, and that's the screen in the background over there. So that is showing the HDMI image from the source, which is the laptop. So you can, like I said, plug in a Fire Stick or whatever you want, and that will also display over there. So that's really cool. So this is a pretty awesome projector. The quality of it, I just can't get over how clear that is. Let me disconnect the Bluetooth speaker. I'll switch that off. So that's now off, and we can then go to the drive. So let's just play this again. And now that sound, which is actually quite good, is coming from the projector itself. So it's using the projector speaker. So it's not this one, because this one's off now. So it's using the projector speaker, and it's actually, wow, it's actually quite loud. So that's pretty awesome. I'm very, wow, this is a very nice projector. So I just want to say thanks to WiMiUS for sending me this. This is an awesome, awesome projector. Yeah, check out their products. They're really good. I'm very impressed with this one. This is one of the better projectors that I've reviewed in a long time. The quality is just amazing. I can't believe the pixels. Look at the quality of the home. that is just really good. Wow, this is amazing. And looking in the manual, the projection size of this can go to, let me just check for you, so you can go to 150-inch screen. That's really big, and that's at a distance of 4.3 meters or 14 feet. And the smallest is a 30-inch screen at 0.8 meters or 2.6 feet. This is really good. Wow. And you can mount it, power buttons on the top, it's got airflow on the sides, really easy remote to use, very user friendly. I'm very impressed. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in my next review. Cheers.